onboarding. Yep, JV's already put that onboarding process in through to there. So that's, I don't even know how many pages. I think it's about 14 pages, and that's an onboarding structure. So this is what it should look like. Your first day, your first 7 days, and what are you doing in your first 90 days to onboard a person? How would you rate your onboarding for employees, for new employees? How would you say it's effective? Does the induction also include other members of the team? So what do I mean by that? As I said before, when I have a look at Bell in South Yarra and Richmond, they shadow, or buddy system probably is a better word. They buddy system their new employees. All employees are buddied system for the first 7 days. Do you reckon they've got a better retention? I think that they would, because at the end of the day, at the end of that first week, the employee would have a much greater understanding. One, they would have developed some team dynamic within the staff. People would know who they are. All of the staff feel an obligation to make sure that they're spending some time with the person and bringing them up to speed with what they do. So I just think it's a great, and for the cost of 1 week's worth of induction. So have a look back through to here. When a new employee starts, is their computer set up, their email and computer profile set up? Too often do I go into offices and I'm using an inspection express profile from 3 staff members ago. That sort of stuff just doesn't make any sense. Are the passwords created? As soon as the staff member leaves, all passwords across the whole office should be changed anyway. That's good protocol. Email signatures prepared, and other team members are where they're starting. You don't want to have a brand new staff member coming in day one and feeling as though they're a visitor. They need to feel, so as soon as a staff member comes in, they say, "Oh, Michael, yeah, I knew you were coming. Fantastic. Good to have you on board. You know, catch up with you at morning tea." That's the sort of thing that you want to make people feel as though that they belong and that they blend in through to there. So day one, induction process sets the tone of the business. Download the induction booklet and use that. If you're wanting to, we can rebrand that for you. Just let me know, and we'll you know, whatever the cost of the VA to do that is, it's not a lot. We can rebrand that in for you, but use that as an indication. And I spend so much time developing systems and structures that we to put into offices to make their staff retention higher and their turnover much, much lower. Give the employee a copy of the checklist for their records. The checklist is stored in the folder. Have a 1 day, have a 7 day, have a 14 day. On 7 days, I think one of the questions in there is, are you comfortable with your chair, desk, and office computer setup? And there's nothing worse than going into a new place and getting an old rickety chair that, you know, one of the wheels is buggered and there's no mat underneath, and you're sitting there and you're thinking to yourself, or it's a little storeroom area and it's you know, the computers are not right, there's different screens, and it's nothing worse than you're feeling, is this an environment that I want to be in? In that first week, make an impression for the positive rather than the negative. So go through induction 7 days and do a check-in at 7 days. Do a 14-day check-in. So go through and have a look at some of their work. Do they know where they're storing folders? Do they know where to find letters? Do they know where to find all sorts of information? Again, here's the induction checklist that we've put up in through to here. I'm just going to come back to that. So I rolled it through there, sorry. So company introduction and history, explain the corporate structure, provide new details of the ABN. Got out of that one in through to there. Team introductions, roles, responsibilities, computer program, Outlook, set them all up. Set them up in some of the internal chats. Do you use a Slack or a Skype or a Teams? Set them up in through to there. Get them to do a video and explain who they are. 3rd of August is our week 3 program, and these are the things that we're going to take and cover off. So again, it's an 8:30 to 10 o'clock session, and then followed by a 1 hour where we do a Q&A. Rate yourself for your onboarding. If you've got any ideas from this, jot them down, have a look at it. The first one is, if you don't have an induction program, just use the one that I've got.